Dwight and Billy Bob, congratulations. You made it to the final round of this competition. Now we're sending you back to your home forges for 5 days to recreate an iconic weapon from history. And that weapon is the Rhomphaia. Originating as early as 400 BC, the Rhomphaia was a fearsome weapon prominently used by Thracian tribes of Eastern Europe. It featured a long, single-edged blade that had great cutting and slashing strength due to the blade's slightly forward curve. Usually forged with iron, warriors had to use 2 hands to wield this heavy weapon, using an overhead sweeping or hacking motion to attack from close distances. First mentioned in historical texts by the ancient Roman historian Titus Livius, it was recorded as one of the key weapons in violent Thracian warfare. Good luck, bladesmiths. We'll see you in 5 days.
My name is Dwight Phillips, and I was the first person from Tennessee that I know of to pass the Master Smith test. What I love about bladesmithing, 200 years from now, somebody else is going to be picking it up and looking at it. That really satisfies me. It looks pretty good. The thing I'm worried about is the handle. I went with a full tang, which makes it a little bit heavier. I may have to drill some holes in there and take away some weight. That made me a little nervous. Next, we will clay it and get ready for heat treatment. This will help keep part of the metal soft and the other part will get hard. I feel really nervous about quenching something this long, but what the heck, let's go see what happens. If this heat treat goes wrong, I could be in serious trouble. The time it takes to work out another sword this long, I'll be down and out. I'm more nervous than a mouse that's running from a cat on this. It with no cracks in the edge, and it wouldn't warp. It looks perfect. Let's check it out here. And it's dragging right there. Kind of run out of time. If I don't get this blade razor sharp, Billy Bob could take home the money. I have got to fix it. It's better. If I had a lot more time, I could really stone this edge and get it even sharper than that. But I think it's gonna go through everything they put up against it. We'll just have to see.
My name is Bill Sowell. Everybody in the knife world calls me Billy Bob. I've been a master smith for 8 years. When I decided to make a knife, I'm just gonna do it. And there's not a lot of planning to it. You just keep doing it until it's a knife. The sword isn't fitting all the way through the forward, so I just made one renovation. I just knocked a hole in the firewall. So I think I'm gonna make a simple pattern of twisted Damascus, and I can put it on the handle and give it a little detail. Oh, never pick a snowball up in a blacksmith shop, because it could be hot. I'm way behind. This is no bull. The handle is harder than I expected. Today, I'm gonna try to fit and shape the handle. Oh, yes, baby. I'm doing it in 2 pieces. It just adds to the craftsmanship. Son of a bitch. The handle was looking a lot better than I thought it would. But we're never out of the woods until we send this bad boy off. Damn it. The threads are crooked. Being a perfectionist, I'm gonna keep messing with it until I get it right. That may be the downfall of this whole thing.
Master bladesmiths. To see what kind of lethal damage your Rhomphaias will do, we will take your Rhomphaias and deliver lethal slashes and thrusts on this wild boar carcass. Dwight, you're up first. You ready?
I'm ready.
As you can see, I'm still recovering from an injury. So to be my arm today, I'd like to welcome my brother, RJ Markaida.
Handles clean. Also, pretty good.
Well, Dwight, on the initial draw cut, it is sharp to where it lacerated deep into this wild boar carcass. On the thrust, it penetrated easily into the carcass. And on the final cut right here, your blade cut all the way through the carcass. Overall, your Rhomphaia will kill.
Thank you.
Good job. All right, Billy Bob,
It's a hard act to follow, but let's do it.
Index better. Okay. All right, Billy Bob, it's so light you can almost wield it with one hand. The edge over here is so sharp it lacerates easily without much force. The profile you have over here for thrusting allowed it for a very deep, quick and out penetration. Overall, your Rhomphaia will kill.
Thank you.
Next up is a strength test. Ben?
Gentlemen, to test the strength and durability of your blades, I'm going to clamp them into this machine, and it will deliver a strike on the sugar cane of about 500 pounds of force. Remember, this test is all about what the sugar cane does to your blade and not what your blade does to the sugar cane. Dwight, I've already clamped yours in. Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Well, Dwight, your blade held up perfectly. It's like it didn't hit anything. It's still dead straight. Very well done.
Thank you.
Billy Bob, you're up next. You ready?
I can't wait.
All right, let's do this. 3, 2, 1.
Kill me.
Well, Billy Bob, I love the overall weight. It feels like it's a really good chopper. And most importantly, the edge is still as razor sharp as it was when you brought it here. Very well done.
Thank you, sir.
Next up is the sharpness test. And for that, I give you to Dave.
All right, gentlemen, I'll be working my way through this rope maze by cutting. We've seen your blades kill. Let's see if they've held their edge. Dwight, you're up first. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this. All right, so Dwight, your blade is just pristine. I mean, there's not a mark or a hair hanging on it or anything. Feel-wise, it's got a lot of forward weight. It makes for a very strong chop, but I do have to stop it, slow it down, and back it up. I think it's a beautiful weapon.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Billy Bob, you ready to go?
Let's do it.
Okay. Billy Bob, this is sharp. It blew through rope like nothing. I felt I could really control this weapon just because it's so much lighter up through here. Fabulous weapon.
Thank you.
Well done.
Dwight, Billy Bob, both done masterful work, as expected from master smiths. However, in this arena of competition, there can only be one Forged in Fire champion, and that champion is... Billy Bob. Congratulations, you are the Forged in Fire champion.
Thank you.
Dwight, your blade was badass, but this time it didn't make the cut. Doug Marcaida will explain.
Dwight, first of all, this is exactly what we expect for a final round. Two beautifully matched blades, but your blade is slightly heavy that offsets its balance compared to Billy Bob's, and it's for that reason we're sending you home.
Dwight, I need to ask you to please surrender your blade.
Billy Bob winning is no disgrace. I believe both blades are pretty equal. I'd hate to have been a judge. Being on Forged in Fire is one of the best experiences I've ever had. If it's something that you're passionate about, you need to go for it.
Billy Bob, congratulations. You are the new Forged in Fire champion and will be receiving a check for $10,000. Good job.
Thank you. I'm honored that I'm here to do it.
Please present your weapon to the judges.
The old man went Forged in Fire. Old man come here and kicked ass and took names. It feels good now. I'm proud of both of us. Dwight and I forged not only blades, but we forged a friendship. I'm gonna go home and take a break. I'm gonna get me a damn pedicure. You don't know what you're missing if you ain't had one.
All right, guys, congratulations. It is now down to the two of you to battle it out, figure out who's going home with the title of Forge and Fire Champion and a check for $10,000. In round 3, we're gonna be sending you guys back to your home forges to work on this blade for 4 days. The blade we're gonna have you guys build is this. The William Wallace Sword. Biggin', right?
Armed with his gigantic two-handed claymore, William Wallace was known for leading the Scottish rebellion against the English during the late 12th century. Measuring in at a staggering 5 foot 4 inches tall, the blade weighed less than 6 pounds, making it both lightweight and long enough to deliver deadly blows against the enemy on horseback or on foot. Wallace led his troops to victory with his namesake sword during the famous Battle of Stirling Bridge. Memorialized as a Scottish hero, Wallace can be seen wielding his iconic sword in the 1995 blockbuster, Braveheart.
This is the largest sword we've ever asked any bladesmiths to make.
One look at that beautiful sword and I think, nope.
You've got to make your blades within these parameters. The blade length needs to be between 51 and 53 inches with a blade width no less than 2 inches. You guys need to have a guard with upswept quillions, longet, and 2 side rings. Need to include a 2-handed handle and top it off with a pommel. The best of luck to both of you guys. We'll see you back in the forge in 4 days.
Here we are, round 3 championship round.
Let's draw this bad boy out.
And big challenge, making a big sword. I've made a few swords, but never have I made anything of this caliber.
That's a 32-inch blade. I need 20 more inches.
The key to victory with a weapon this size is performance, and it's all about that heat treat. That is the most critical part.
Yeah. Oh, that looks great. I like it, I like it, I like it. Just a little fire, just a little fire. Woo.
It seems to have taken great.
I am ecstatic. That went wonderfully.
Oh man, I'm feeling great. This sword is enormous, and it is light. I want to wield this thing. There's not a lot of reasons to walk around town with a chainmail shirt unless you have a William Wallace sword. Then, of course, you should have a chainmail shirt on.
That's pretty nice. That cut really well. I'm back in Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, my home forge. I gotta make a William Wallace sword. It's a beast of a sword. Today I would like to get the blade drawn out to rough parameters, hopefully. I can't screw this up. I only have one piece of this. So now that I've got my rough shape formed in, I get the angle grinder. That way I can look for D-lams and cracks. Looks good, I don't see any cracks. I have to get this quench done. Here we go. I'm just worried about something going wrong with this because it takes way too much time to make this, and I don't have enough time to do another one. Get in there. Come on, you. Got a little bit of a warp in it, but it's not bad. I'm pretty happy with it. It's time to start putting all the pieces of this sword together. I slipped the guard down on my sword, and the challenge is just making sure everything fits tight and there's no wiggling, there's no moving, because if they hit it off something and if something loosens up, I could go home. I'm really happy with the way it looks. Big sword for a big guy.
All right, Bladesmiths, welcome to the keel test. To find out what kind of lethal damage your iconic William Wallace swords will do, I will take your sword and deliver lethal blows on this wild boar carcass. James, you're up first. You ready for this?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's do it.
Those hogs can take out a weapon pretty easily. It could wrap around the side of the hog instead of cutting into the hog. And all that momentum could go into bending the blade rather than slicing into the pig. And that makes me very nervous.
It is massive. All right, James, talk about your blade here. A pocket knife, it is not. But this long blade actually has a nice weight to it. It's wieldable with 2 hands. Grabbing on to your handle here, I get a good grip. Your edge is razor sharp. It easily punctures and has a nice draw cut to it. Now, cutting the carcass, as you can see, it cut it in half. And more importantly, sir, you'll kill.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Lyle, your turn, sir. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
My stomach is just in knots. I'm nervous about my quench, and you know, I didn't know if I did it right, but I'm gonna find out. I'm ready for it to be over.
All right, let's talk about your William Wallace sword here. It's a lighter sword. It's about a ½ pound lighter. Your edge is sharp. Now, it cut very deep on this big carcass. It didn't cut it in half, but it did cut. Overall, sir, your sword, you will kill.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, it's time for the strength test, our battering ram chop. Now, why would you attack a battering ram with a sword? I don't know, but we're gonna do it anyway. Now remember, this test is not about what your swords do to that battering ram, but how well they hold up. James, you're up first. You ready?
Dave, I hate this plan.
All right, James. Blade is still true as it was when we started. It's comfortable, it's strong, and man, it held up well. Good job.
Yeah, I really like hearing you talk about it. That's great.
All right, Lyle, your turn. Ready?
I guess.
I guess. All right, Lyle, first off, remarkable job making a weapon this big, this light, and hold up that well. That's impressive. But the issue is we've got some loosening going on. Other than that, you did a great job.
Thank you.
All right, Bladesmiths, this is the sharpness test, the foam pillar slice. Now, unlike the strength test, this is all about how sharp your weapons are and what they do to these foam pillars that are wrapped in leather. James, you're up first. You ready?
Yeah, man. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right, James, the edge of your sword is like cutting through butter. It's a nice, clean cut, cuts all the way through. Overall, sir, your weapon, it will cut.
Thank you.
All right, Lyle, your turn, sir. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's do this. All right, let's talk about your sword here. First up, the guard is still a little bit loose from the strength test. But when it comes to the cuts, it is a sharp edge that you have here. It did cut the leather, it just didn't cut through. It's a lighter blade, thinner edge over here, but it does cut.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, you guys both brought us back giant William Wallace swords that exceeded our expectation. They are the largest swords ever built in this competition, so we want to commend you guys both for that. But there can only be one champion in this competition, and today's Forge and Fire champion is James. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lyle, unfortunately, you just didn't make the cut today, and Dave Baker's going to tell you why.
Lyle, you made us an amazing sword that performed very well, but that guard loosened up in the strength test, and it just didn't cut as well in the sharpness test, and that's why we're letting you go.
I understand.
Lyle, thank you for all your hard work. You produced a phenomenal weapon, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to please step off the floor.
Thank you. I'm a little upset that I lost, but at the same time, I mean, I got nothing to be sad about. To be here at the finals and my sword actually made it through, I mean, I can't be more happy about it.
James, congratulations. You are the Forge and Fire champion. You'll be leaving here with a check for $10,000. How does it feel?
Pretty great. Yeah, baby, I'm Forge and Fire champion.
Great work.
Feels a little surreal. Like, maybe this isn't real. We might find out tomorrow that this didn't really happen.